everybody, and welcome to another week of Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney 3 Trials and Tribbles. We're going to be dealing with some severe puffball breeding problems in this courtroom.
If you're a Klingon in the chat, I'm sorry.
Phoenix's hair has started duplicating at an alarming rate.
It was always going to happen.
I can't believe Phoenix's hair got laid before he did.
I can. It seems to be the general thing for a particular line of Japanese hero characters. They just don't get laid.
Ah, poor Nick.
Poor Kiryu. So, what happened last time?
We started a new case. A man was poisoned in a French restaurant run by the world's campest man.
The world's campest man.
The thing is, this case had already gone to court, and the suspect was found guilty. The suspect being
was the suspect that yes?
No. No. The suspect unfortunately was Maggey Bird.
Maggie
the
Bird.
Cute ex-police officer from Ace Attorney 2.
Oh no.
And the lawyer who got
more Gumshoe problems.
And the lawyer who failed to defend her in court was reportedly Phoenix Wright. Except Phoenix doesn't remember that shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Alright.
So Gumshoe came to him directly to ask him to reopen the case, because apparently he's the one who failed her.
More Gumshoe angst.
So
we cannot leave this. We cannot have this man be happy for 5 freaking minutes. Hey pal, my life's entirely fallen apart again.
It's stable, pal. It's stable. That's I'm not saying it's great.
Hey, what's that, pal? There's like 100 yen on the floor. I'll just pick that up. Oh my god, my back has shattered into a dozen pieces. Also, my clothes have all torn.
Judging by the acting requirement for Gumshoes to be able to breakdance, according to the stage shows.
Yes. Why is that?
I'm gonna say that his back is actually much better than you think.
Why is that? Why is it that
why is he
every
designated
stage show
breakdancer?
clip
I don't know.
you've shown me and of multiple actors?
They're
all breakdancers.
I don't know. Multiple Ace Attorney plays have required that Gumshoe do a breakdance gag. And, I mean, heckin' go for it.
I mean, it might explain how he gets the birds. Spoiler. Anyway.
When will Gumshoe acquire women?
Soon. Soon.
When will he acquire more women?
When will he acquire more women? His budget barely allows him. You're throwing a full-time girlfriend as well. You gotta start giving Gumshoe a harem.
Why shouldn't I give Gumshoe a harem?
Well, for a start, he apparently can't afford any new clothes.
It's okay. Edgeworth is his sugar daddy.
Let's just begin, shall we? Happy New Year!
Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor.
Maggey!
Ah! Detective Gumshoe!
Are you doing alright? How you feeling?
As if you need to ask either question, sir.
Don't let him get you down, Maggey. And don't forget to eat well, okay?
Roger!
And you! Yes? You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggey's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious.
Hey, detective! You're on our side for once, right?
Yep.
Hey, whoa, hang on. Whoa. You're on our side for once. This man has bent over backwards for you, you ungrateful little cow.
Yeah, but I mean, literally at this point, he's not working for the prosecution.
This man!
He has not been assigned to the case. He's doing this all...
I will not have.
You'll not have the scum
I
slander.
will not have this hamburger addict come in here and slander this Gumshoe, anti-Gumshoe propaganda slander.
Burger-chan! Burger-chan!
The last time I was here, she said something that was just being an absolute cow, and she's at it again.
West Pony.
Someone needs to. Hey, franchise! I think it's about time Maya gets kidnapped again. Maybe.
Oh no.
Maybe that'll fix her good.
About that.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to help Maggey out, right? Really? Can you, sir?
Of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay. We're forming a united front today, pal. You get me?
I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, Detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh?
I can only wish.
I'm trying to remember the voice. Oh, damn it, he's standing there.
You went with Loud Heel.
Yes.
You went with Loud Heel in your American voice.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggey Bird and associated birds. All of them. I hate the bastards.
The defense is ready, Your Honor?
Bitter.
Mr. Wright. There we are, I found my place. I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor? What's wrong? Nothing, it's just... Whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You stalking of me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Trusty? So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please.
Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. I am on cup number 1. Everyone please take notice.
It's gonna be a fucking long one.
It's a thing.
But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright.
That's exactly what Phoenix Wright would say, real or not. I wasn't questioning whether or not you were the real Phoenix Wright. But I see that's not a problem for you. I was questioning whether you had studied lore or not. And I gotta say, that's what I intend to find out.
Where are you going, Emma?
Not far enough away.
There's no denying it. I have studied law, goddammit, I passed the bar. I can do it again if you need me to.
I never pass the bar. I always go in and pay for 3 rounds of black coffee.
The California bar.
Oh.
The California bar.
I'm sure people will appreciate the coffee more, though.
Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another.
Play the rest of the game, damn it!
And not even in the normal way. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony niece said. Trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness.
Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation.
Witness, state your name for the court. Sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective Occupation Dick Gumshoe.
Other way round, detective.
Thank you for being so patient with me, sir. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control. For everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elk. He was a professional programmer.
Can I interrupt you here?
Go on.
Why? I was going to ask, why is Markiplier a scouter? What is going on here?
What do you mean? Why is
Markiplier? Look at his face. Why is Markiplier a scouter? What's going on here?
Look, we can't tell if it's Markiplier or not because we can't see his hair. Anyway.
I remember that. Hang on. Who's that? Turbo.
Turbo has gifted a tier 1 sub to Earthheart with
generous.
the power of Franziska.
There you go. There was talk about her in the chat before we actually began. So she does still exist.
She does still exist.
She does still exist.
She exists. She
It's
exists through to the most
It's
recent
very
version,
unfortunate that the alerts, which are white and yellow, keep appearing over this background, which is white and yellow. But that can't be helped, unfortunately.
He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company.
What Markiplier was? How does he have time? He's too busy doing the hit podcast Distractible.
He has a television show that they didn't advertise, so he had to advertise it himself. And no, that's the thing.
I know.
He has a movie coming out.
But how does this man have time?
He goes to the gym.
From the hit podcast Distractible.
He's been to Rude Mountain.
He's what?
Never mind.
His bits of Rude Mountain. That's just internet slander.
This is the victim's autopsy report.
He's dead?
The victim's name was Glenn Elk. The court accepts this into evidence. Now, Glenn Elk, not Markiplier.
Thank God. How am I going to listen to the hit podcast Distractible if he's dead?
I'll make you a Markiplier witness logo later.
In fairness, the best bits are from Wade and Bob, so it doesn't matter. But
And here are the floor plans of the restaurant, so we know what's going on. When the incident, it's a small restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here.
Excellent.
The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the
Hang on, we've gone into overcooked now. What's going on?
The waitress being the accused. Yeah.
The accused? Accused?
The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of his coffee, which is why his irises have disappeared. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant.
One was Jacksepticeye, and the other one was...
Jacksepticeye, there you go.
But, no.
Mr. John Armstrong, the owner and chef. And a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. That's not a reference.
I'm going to assume you made all the jokes on that.
I didn't make any. There's just the appropriate jokes of he's a very old Japanese man in California. But it's like, this is Japanifornia, so actually we shouldn't worry about it.
Okay. Anyway, the judge falls asleep. He does look like Markiplier, doesn't he?
Actually, do you think he's like a honk shoe sort of sleeper, or sort of sleeper?
At the edge of sleep, no.
It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Très bien. Go.
Come, detective, take up this hammer. and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Just like you may have heard on the hit podcast Distractible.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's stop talking about Distractible and have your testimony. Yes, sir. If it pleases the court, I'd like to start my own podcast. It's called The Instant.
Gumshoe on the beat.
Gumshoe True Crime
Gumshoe,
Podcast.
Gumshoe on the beat, but it's actually just him talking about the history of karaoke.
The Japanese side would do that. And I want them to now. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir.
Actually,
We understand that the guy, Glenn Elk, was listening to the radio at the time.
Actually, if that hoodie was orange, suddenly becomes Vector from Despicable Me.
That's a beanie, not his hair.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like Miss Bird might have had, well, some kind of a motive. Kevin is screaming.
I'm sorry, all I can think of now is a...
All you can think of right now is Marker Vector, and I need you to stop.
It's just like, no, all I can think of is the freaking newscaster guy from Despicable Me now. It's like, who is that mysterious YouTuber, and what will he do next after he stole the pyramids? That's where he went. That's where he went for all those months. It was a lie. He wasn't filming anything, Markiplier. He was
Who in the
he was
world
stealing
is
the pyramids.
Who in the world is common Markiplier?
Oh God. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady.
It's
Clever
something he
girl.
It's something he can personally respect.
Clever girl.
The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me.
What are we talking about, Ram Genius?
The game broke you half an hour in.
No, I was too...
It broke him immediately.
In fairness,
So
the
what?
hit podcast Distractible. Anyway, what are we looking for here?
Well,
I mean, obviously we're looking
for material. We understand. First off, like, Maggey keeps pushing the idea that there's another guy at the table, and we keep seeing the CD that she's correct, and that it appears to be the fake Phoenix Wright.
Wait.
Which, like,
if there was another person at the table, or if there wasn't another person there at all, then who took those fantastic photographs we just had in the flashback? Why was there evidence of that kind at all? It feels like there's. Anyway, so what's the first thing we need to press on?
well, this. Very specifically, because this point kept coming up in the investigation. Can I stop you for just a minute?
To talk about them.
No! Huh? What is it? Did you click the options or something? He's so desperate for the contradiction, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And
What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction?
Hey!
Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe?
Look, you're beefing with me, pal.
My beef's with everybody that doesn't have in front of them a hot, steaming, black as the ace cup of delicious coffee.
Kevin, I have a pot of sticks next to me. Be careful.
I have a Nintendo Switch.
That's true, he does have.
And the build quality of Nintendo products is well known.
It is true.
Your skull will break first, rather than the sweet black and red and blue plastic of a Nintendo Switch. Anyway, go on.
Godot has definitely licked a Switch cartridge.
I'm the reason they put those chemicals in.
So anyway, the other guy's 2 testimonies tie up on there not being another customer. They both said there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Insistence.
Yeah.
Have faith.
It's very rare that you don't press, isn't it?
Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view at the victim's table was obscured in some way.
Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations, right?
He has tried it. It was shit.
I have here, in my possession, a ticket that looks suspiciously like a photograph on the graphic.
Yes! I agree with you! I agree with you!
I'm glad you do! A one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant.
Oh, it's the Mephiles try, okay. The one-way ticket to oblivion.
This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place. Oh, that's the judge.
This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct?
I knew you'd say that. I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Try, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table?
I love it when it makes a little girl scream face. It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Surprisingly, considering there's literally... I can't remember the word for this.
For the court record, Double Cross just randomly gesticulated at me with her hand up and down.
Partitions. Partitions.
That's the good. Thank you.
I gesticulated the partition because I couldn't remember the word partition.
I got some sort of Japanese shadow puppetry demonstration without the puppets or the shadows then, everybody, and it was very difficult to understand what the hell
So anyway, you know, it was potassium cyanide. No other poison exists unless we make it up. That's what you need to know. But like, I want to ask about the cup. So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else. Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So, the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper.
Ha! Good catch. Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite? I'm gonna ignore the fact that you said sugar first.
The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. You know,
I'm gonna ignore.
like a standard joke we're not gonna make. Damn. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee.
Clearly.
Need to make headway, need to make headway, need to make headway aggressively. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? according to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right! That's what I was thinking.
That's an example of drinking coffee. In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there.
Oh, but for me?
Yeah.
I kind of
Merry Christmas!
I kind of look thankful.
Oh hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. Isn't that right, chat? If you have time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence.
That piece, sir?
Yes, that piece. The piece that makes me wonder why Steam pop-ups are coming on the screen.
The piece for Kuzco, the piece specifically to kill Kuzco, that piece. What piece was it again?
This!
Ow!
Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the, victim's coffee cup.
Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim.
Oh yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it.
Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. This cup is completely fine. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him, and other words of the beard that disappeared in quick succession.
He literally demonstrated by drinking. For the record, the only prints on the victim's cup were the victims and the defendants. This is going so well. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. And like, if you want to hear about some potassium cyanide, you want to hear about some potassium cyanide? Have you ever heard of potassium cyanide, Kevin?
I think I dated it once.
Want to hear about some potassium cyanide, folks?
Pretty sure I married it, actually.
Potassium cyanide? I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how
It was a
strong...
chemical romance.
Exactly how strong was this chemical romance, Detective Gumshoe? It's a, well, that stuff's labeled. Eat too much in your history. How much is too much?
A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's enough to finish anyone off. Anyone at all.
Not 0.2 grams? Like, how much is that? You know when you swab your ears for earwax? About that much. Earwax? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere.
Thank you to the judge, by the way, for actually making good points. Yes, Kenny? Some kind of a motive is the new album. Is Phoenix Wright's new album.
Some kind of a motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion.
Objection. You know what my golden rule is, detective.
Don't be a piss baby?
That's my golden shower rule, detective. Chuck out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another, but not if the cup is number 18 because we already had that.
Huh? I don't get it.
I'm saying, we could always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. Especially that turkey over there that apparently just walked in. I knew we were talking about Miss Bird's motive, but I didn't know she was that kind of bird. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Other than avoiding Christmas based on that.
Come on, Gumshoe. She was, they said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime.
And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000 of a denomination we won't mention.
Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one.
Then, is it possible Maggey stole the winning one? Is this a dangerous press, or should I press? Wait a minute. Those noises I made just now. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client.
Ha! I have here, in my hand, another photograph. But it is a photograph of a ticket. The very ticket in question.
That's the $500,000 lottery ticket? It's $1. It's $1. It's actually $1. It's $500,000. We know what country we're in. No, we don't. One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order!
Ha! She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress.
You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately.
Actually, I was thinking of holding on to it. You know how many cups of coffee that can buy? Quite
I'd
a
better
few.
keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. God, he doesn't get paid either. How are we all alive? This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too, but it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? You telling me we didn't establish how much it cost in the previous trial when we were establishing motive?
Huh. It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor.
Yeah, but
Also, put that down.
the scrap of paper has a monetary value, and money can be
Indeed.
exchanged for goods and services.
Thank you, Gordon. Now, would you please put that down? And the chat can stop eyeing it up as well. I see
That's
what
on
you're
Maggey's
doing.
person, unfortunately. What was Maggey's person? I'm already lost.
What?
That's enough. We're all very
Excellent! It's
confused
time to
as-
go home! Let's do this now!
The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did commit this crime.
I like an old man who knows the score. Wrap it up now, judgy boy, and let's all go home and have a nice cup of something. I'll think of what it is later.
You know, no, he's mostly a straight shooter, but like if you're interested.
Also, where'd that ticket go?
There is also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
I
That
told you to
alone
put that
provides-
down.
That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules.
I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money.
What are you gonna pay him to do? Not good, Nick. They're flirting in court, and it's kind of gross. This isn't the yaoi I signed up for.
Haven't you been kidnapped again yet? Go away!
Look,
Or get replaced by your busty sister. Why am I? I'm
Look, we'll
slowly
give it a
turning
month,
into.
okay? We'll give it a
I'm
month,
slowly.
okay?
I'm slowly.
We'll give it a month.
I'm
We'll
slowly
give it a
turning into the blue rat on this voice. By the way, it is annoying me.
We'll give it a month.
Ugh.
Not good, Nick.
The evidence against Maggey is starting to pile up fast.
Of course they went too fast.
That's because the court has
Resist.
already ruled guilty once already.
I'd say it's that's Shadow. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance.
You want to go Kaiba but dickier, I think is what you're going for.
With one final decisive piece of evidence.
You know what I mean? He's got more evidence. He's got more evidence against Maddie.
That's right.
He's got more.
That's right, Trite.
He's got
Look,
more
a
evidence
dog
against
costume, and it fits you.
Bark, bark. I only do this shit for Edgeworth. Stop.
This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time.
Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've ever seen.
She done a shift, you ignorant bitch!
That's
Jesus Christ! Why you do a fucking job once in your life?
I'm just like, oh my god, that stain looks like... That can't be blood, can it?
Ha! It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. Seriously, Ma's pissing me off in this. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. It's not like she's clumsy.
That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye.
Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Seriously, look at the stitch work on that thing. It's amazing.
Something else? I presume you mean...
Of course, I'm referring to the pocket.
The pocket?
Yeah, the pocket. A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket.
A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket. Yeah. And Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What?! Order! The court will accept these items into evidence. I like the heartwarming way that the apron is written. There's a small pocket, but big stains. You know, it has the... and it's a small allowance, but big dreams. There's something still...
One day it will get onto Broadway.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain.
Dude, you don't need to be told. Just look at it.
Have you seen the color of this visor? I see nothing but red.
That's actually it.
It's actually
That's actually it. He's blind without it.
Well, detective, could this stain really be blood?
I think he still thinks you're talking about the top one as well. No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while taking on their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe.
Pull a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. Dark black ketchup.
Which he can fucking see. I thought everybody knew what it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence, they have all been clearly established.
Well, Trite, it seems you really are a phony after all.
You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. But no, like, he is actually, like, fucked up colorblind. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggey had passed out from the shock. Must have been real tough for her.
Was she passed out, or was she just doing some very risque photos based on that
The
post?
victim
Jesus.
didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggey was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good.
Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Wright. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So let the fun begin with a brief thing I was going to do.
What are you
Hang
gonna
on.
do?
I'm going to do the best I can.
Hi.
The investigation.
So I started playing. So I started playing Gmod, sir. And I don't know how to do any of those animations. I made a really weird little machine though. It kind of just drives in a little circle. It's made out of a body and a wheel. That is the first thing I made on Gmod.
Objection.
So anyway, a kind of scary old man. Is he scary?
Was it Kuma?
It was not Kuma, it was Godot. He's kind of scary, as you may have noticed from his enlarged alcohol noise.
Yeah, he's like he's either been
He's
hit
not the
or
alcohol as part of his character.
he's
got
been
like
hit or he's got the drunkard's nose. Yeah.
And I think it's like just in general, like his character design is slightly more like 60s anime.
What's the phrase for like a drunkard? There's a specific phrase for drunkard's nose. Random G's might be able to remind me of that.
I don't know, in his case it might be just Asian flush.
Like Brewer's Droop or something.
Maggey had passed out. I'm not showing you the fucking image again, it's mine. The victim didn't have any ID, but we figured out who he was pretty quick. Okay, wait a second. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to the court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? I don't have any paper. Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victims? Why am I pointing so violently at this question? It's a reasonable question. Oh, that.
Yeah, that point. You got to give the people what they want.
He's so let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eye things going on. It makes me want to give him a raise. But I have to spend all my money on Charlie. I need Charlie to live. And I need... There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket.
Well, that was fun and amusing, wasn't it, everybody? I did see it out of the corner of my eye. The microphone was like the volume level thing was actually like, it was like freezing. So I don't know. I really legitimately don't know what the heck was going on there. Seems okay for now. Maybe it was getting distracted by the hit podcast Distractible. I'm just gonna throw that out there. We have actually made a separate save file just in case we actually do have to do stuff again. But hopefully that's not going to be the case. Anyway, we rejoin the trial in progress. It seems Mr. Glenelg visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Should I poke? ask about his health? It is America. It is America. What else am I supposed to talk about? Did he have insurance? Does that count if you get murdered? Well, I'd assume, actually, yes, it would have to count if you got murdered.
Mr. Wright, why are you talking to yourself like that?
I don't know. Let me ask about the actual bag. Oh, what sort of medicine was in the bag? What was his medication? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty? So what did he get?
Ha! You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate are you, Trite?
Look, dude, I can't enter what was in it because it's gone.
Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective?
When Maggey was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the poison. She probably fucking did it. But Maggey also brought up a point during the investigation is that next to the guy, she saw a CD, which made her originally think that the guy was in a band or something because he had an earpiece, a CD with something written on it. She thought like maybe it was a demo disc. It was 2003. Important context as to the technology involved. He couldn't just go to he couldn't just Spotify shit from home. So nothing was missing from the crime scene. So the $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for, but wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day? Oh, yeah. The one the restaurant owner took? That's a fucking hard word. He won a whole dollar with it. What a lucky guy, huh? And they're just gonna let him get away with it. It was just $1, detective. I guess no one gives a shit when it's $1. Except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is gonna hand down the verdict.
Damn straight I am!
Gumshoe's giving us nothing to work with, and we can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Quick, jump him! But Maggey and Gumshoe were like, no, I'm not gonna be that mean to Maggey, I'm just gonna say that Gumshoe was dumber. Our only hope is they were both so dumb they missed something obvious. Yeah, that's so rude!
Right. When we get to that case, we're not helping her.
Anyway, a point we need to fucking raise is what we just immediately had turned in, is that, hang on a goddamn minute, Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is a small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given the prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal! Heck yeah!
That was interesting. Turn it up!
Gumshoe rave. Indeed, due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? I'm kinda proud of that. The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medication mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Actually, that raises a weird question. Who gets... Order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that?
Ha! That's all.
What?
Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will.
The back text is so small in the preview, I can't read it. What's the clinic's name gotta do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological?
It's an ear, nose, and throat place.
Otolaryngological?
Otolaryngological.
Oh, good, so I can actually say
Otolaryngological, yes.
except I'm trying to do it in an accent, it's not working. Just, what kind of illness was the victim suffering from exactly, Mr. Godot?
Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bit of war wound, you could say.
A war wound?
Ah, my wounds from the war! The day before the instrument. The day before the instrument.
Mr. Markiplier.
Mr. Markiplier found himself in a fight. A fight to get his brand new series, The End of Sleep, actually promoted. He took a blow to the right side of his head and ruptured his eardrum.
Well, I didn't say which side of that.
I told you, the instruments! The eardrum!
He ruptured his eardrum? Ouch. Then what's enough with the prescription he was given?
It was cream that would be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested.
Well, then doesn't that raise the point that he'd be poisoned if you ate it?
It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print.
You mean the print they don't supply us in the video game menu?
You're right. But that's not my problem, is it? They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear.
Bitch, you can't even see red!
What's that? I can tell left from right, though.
Yes, here
Jesus.
it is. In very, very fine print.
It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe he would have eaten his medication.
It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. Oh.
Nick! If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over.
She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What do I do?
Think of something quick, Nick, and make it stick.
Medication, medication, medication. All I can think of is goddamn medication. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it couldn't be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
I think we should just interrupt for a moment and explain what topically means in this case for the children in the audience, who will not know what that means.
It means he had to deliberately wet willy himself.
That's not the definition of topically.
But it is when you put cream topically on your finger and then you topically apply it inside your ear. Is it not a wet willy, but medication?
Okay, so you don't explain what a thing is by just repeatedly just using the words. That's not what that's not what they do in the dictionary. What is a zebra? Definition. Well, it's a zebra. It's zebra-shaped and coloured like a zebra. That's not helpful in describing what a zebra is.
Well, it was shaped like a crocodile and had the sound of one too. And then Tan asks what the Godot engine is.
It's alright. It's at this point we cut away to the thing on YouTube, which I keep having to do while I explain words. Hit it. Topically. When we say something is topical, we mean it relates to matters of importance at the present time, that is, relevant to the conversation. From a medical point of view, topical means something slightly different but still in the same ballpark. A topical application or administration of a medicine is one that is applied directly to a particular or localized area of the body. specifically the area that requires it. By definition, any medication applied to a body surface, including the skin or the inside of the mouth, could have a topical application. It's applied where it is needed. It is topically applied. And we're back. Wasn't that a nice bit of extra shit I had to do? Now then, you know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide.
It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable.
Ah!
That's enough.
Excellent, we can all go home!
Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Really, he needs that to see. It shouldn't be on fire. Mr. Godot?
Kinda.
I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo? The pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. And that is something that bothers me. Yay! Good job, Nick!
Shut up, you condescending...
The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess.
Thank goodness, let's go.
After which we will hear the prosecution's next witness.
Oh, damn it. Ha! That is. I suppose this means I'll have to finish you off in my last 6 cups.
Court is adjourned for recess. Think. Imagine it just has like a little glass lid, like.
I'm also going to be out here for some reason. That's what I want to tell you about. Trivial at best equals will blow the case wide open. Yeah, pretty much.
That was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. I'm channeling myself right now.
That'd be great.
Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up.
I don't think he meant to do that, Maggey. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's gotta do his job, right?
It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach.
Oh no, she's been poisoned too.
I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again.
Hi pal, how's it going?
Poor Gumshoe.
Look.
So the next witness is gonna be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. And curvaceous women in waitress outfits. Because we had to get Mia to talk to him. Maya in the outfit wasn't enough, but you put a Mia in there, it's only goddamn.
I mean, you put Mia in pretty much anything in the damn series, and goddamn. Also, it replaced Maya, which is probably a good move.
I bet he's gonna be really stubborn.
Bring back pearls.
He's pretty set in his ways, you know? Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick?
Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending birdseed.
I'm going to redeem myself a drink. Hang on a minute.
That's fair. Hey, can I have some extra sippins of water? Is that okay?
Yeah. Hang on. Drink break.
Drink break. No, recess.
No. Hello, little dragon. There's a tiny dragon on Kevin's computer. It's a very precious friend.
There we go.
We've been ordered to check our posture.
Oh,
Screaming!
I bet I have been ordered to check my posture. My...
Ow!
my wonderful posture. Where's my drink? It's downstairs.
I need you to understand that my spine should not do that. It is too set in its ways. Kevin is going on a march to get another can of pop. Another can of pop. Another can of pop. Kevin's on his way to get another can of pop. Another can of pop. Another can of pop. Pop, pop, pop. Court will now reconvene with drinks for the trial of Maggey Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please.
The prosecution calls the ability to pull up a chair to this goddamn desk. Also, the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee.
I now have to do this old guy's voice again. Oh shit.
Anyway, he will now take the stand.
How do I do this? How did I distinguish him?
Name and occupation, if you don't mind. Not that I'm giving you a choice in the matter.
I mean, it's... Yeah, I know what "if you don't mind" actually means. I know...
I'm just making sure.
I know.
Your dictionary seems a little bit dodgy, if I remember right.
It's mother style favors. Well, you don't have to do it if you want to, just And here's all the reasons why you should do it, and here's all the reasons why you have no alternative, and you know. But I'm not telling you to do it, But like,
I stretched and regretted it, chat.
the name is Victor Godot, born and reared in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times too. We don't need to hear about your history in Japan, Mr. Kudo. We don't live there. Please just tell the court your occupation.
I'm a detective, and I would like to say...
This is America, bitch. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Listen, youngin'. How much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do, or did back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimono. My ancestors were embroidering kimono before this country even existed.
What?
Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you could embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing over here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen.
Cuts to a sleeping Richard Moore in the audience, Gal. Okay.
I genuinely don't think he's Kudo for that reason, though. I don't... He's not Kudo in the...
No, he's not.
He's not Kudo in the Japanese version, but, like, I don't think that's why he's Kudo in English.
Ah. It's the sleeping phoenix, everybody.
Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javicino. Seeds? What do you think these are, You gonna say beans? You gonna say beans Americans don't understand? I see. Okay.
So you saw everything that happened, Gramps?
Did I? Oh yes, I did. I saw it all.
Then please, tell the court we're all ears.
Sure. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. God, Godot's stitch must be huge if he's answering him like this. The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a Javicino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she's not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Nah, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, huh? Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell ya. Ezio just subscribed for 39 months. Already being here for 39... Is that what that says? He's been here for 39 months and now he's added 39 months?
God Ezio subscribed to Tier 1. They've subscribed for 39 months, currently on a 39-month streak. Hail!
Double Miku. Hey yo, the Miku number.
Pass me the tall thing. Yep, done.
Scratch it? Excuse me. Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. How many drinks do you need after this whole... Yes, Your Honor.
But yes, thank you, God Ezio.
Yep, this is an old man. So the young man was reading the sports paper. He accepts the newfangled term of Javachino.
A Java?
It's specifically a Javachino in the restaurant.
Is that a coffee made out of birds on scooters?
It's
Carve it into your coffee, kid.
Carve it into your soul, kid.
Carve it into your soul, kid.
Anyway. We established something about him being very, 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 very into these uniforms in the investigation. So I think I'd like to ask him this question very honestly. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry? You can see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform. And so the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform. Even me. Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. I don't think he...
Objection! Yells the internet.
Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together.
You and your newfangled Miku and Wi-Fi and this IO thing sounds like a yogurt. Says God Ezio.
I guess I got a bit carried away. Ha! There are other things I recognize about it, too. He seems pretty sure of himself. I doubt that. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggey Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony.
Well, I recognize two of them. I'm not gonna say which two.
Gam 1, Gam 2.
Thing 1, thing 2.
Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Okay. Pardon?
You've got a ribbon in your hair, sir. Could you possibly be also a waitress?
I don't think it's that kind of ribbon. So, you do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face. Ah! As if I wouldn't remember that.
The witness noticed the straps of the accused apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face.
That's right. I can even tell you the color of the ribbon and her hair. It was red.
So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight.
There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. I get the feeling there's something more to this, though. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front?
Objection.
Ha! He's got you there, Gramps. Wait, am I supposed to be on your side?
No, he just likes handing it. He just likes occasionally handing it to him. He doesn't want to, but you know, it's like people normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment. I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Straps and ribbons.
Mr. Godot, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. I mean, he could have the condition that prevents him from... That's a different game. That's actually in a different Ace Attorney game.
He's obsessed about the boob. I mean, is that the broom? Says God, that's the... No, he's... No.
There wasn't anything that caught my interest about him when I saw it from the front.
Wow. Wow. So
he likes her legs. He likes how high up he can see her legs. Which is like...
I like how hairy her back is.
I'm gonna be honest.
Can see.
Thank you, Beetlejuice. I thought there was one woman for Beetlejuice and she was the wrong age. Like,
well,
admittedly, on
I happen to
Maggey,
like a hairy
like
back
the
bit,
skirt
so-
is very short. We were looking right up there on that detail that Gumshoe won't let us see again.
I'll chew on the dog! Woo!
But we have a problem.
Yo! What? Sorry.
This is what the front of Maggey would have looked like. There wasn't anything interesting about her from the front. It's like... Maggie's not big enough in the front, I'm sorry. It had to be Mia. And this is why we're not calling Pearl Pack, because that's heavily inappropriate when Mia appears. Whenever Pearl calls Mia, Mia's literally holding herself together. We're not showing that to the old man. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. Ow! Sorry.
That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly.
That filthy thing with filth. Ow.
You right?
No. No. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating.
Thank you, Gumshoe.
Yeah, and I'm not very good at deep male voices. You may have detected.
Have you ever seen this before?
I can do him. He's fine. Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that, You half-witted clot! You're just like my no-good brother.
I am very proudly being hit by beans on this. It's Legumintines. It's Legumintines. You throw beans at the bird you love, and that bird is a phoenix, standing proud and beautiful, with extremely broad shoulders. Phoenix is a very broad-shouldered man.
I mean, he does look like he's gonna flap any second, doesn't he?
Phoenix is absurdly buff. And depending on the artist, like...
What is it? Ever since I said you half with a clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Zeus! Go do something, Zeus!
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before... Yes. You know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Man on guard! Who's doing this?
Hang on a second.
Man on guard, I need to warn you, this is not... You are a themed account, and this is not a theme channel.
I've got bad news. Hey, who's that guy over there? Oops.
He's very cute when he blushes.
I did it, I'm out of jail. Congratulations, Matt. We're
Mr. On guard, why?
Anyway, I've taken over this voice now, so it seems. Oops. I told you before, Zeus. I'm innocent, I tell you.
Witness,
Kids! Save me, kids!
Witness, you can't just oops your way out of this.
Oops, I did it again. I messed up. Ha! Well, well, well.
What have we here?
Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands with the help of the real man on guard.
Ah, you said something about
And
kidnapping
us.
Maya, and he's come for it.
Excellent, good. She's been behaving like a right brat this entire case. Could you please come and back and take her?
Maya's being mean to Gumshoe, and Kevin loves Gumshoe. All his
Yes,
heart.
I guess I do. Gumshoe's a... Listen, Train, I gotta... Never mind what that guy's saying about Gumshoe. Here are the real facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant.
That's being the defendant, Miss Maggey Bird.
Your voice went kind of weird there, Judd. Exactly.
I know.
Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison in the coffee... Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Ratgun. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. Very closely, but apparently only her back.
Apparently only her ass.
No, just her back.
I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing.
Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. I don't know what number coffee I'm on. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted.
He can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well. Let's test... Goodness me, are you okay?
No.
Exactly. Let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo.
Oh, good. Let's do 3 more cycles of this.
Tell us what you remember about the victim. I could try it again.
Let me just take...
I don't know what about it requires me to stick knives into the top of my throat, but like...
Please don't. We'll tag over in a second. Anyway. He was another one of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles, just like my noble good brother. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling his pages.
Just like your brother.
The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. Little Fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip.
The testimony we have just heard was to test how... The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail.
Oh yeah, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. You know the sort.
How are we gonna handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot.
Who said that?
Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose. But it's what I do best.
Phoenix Wright. Cruel, cruel man, everybody.
Phoenix Wright, professional tripper. Phoenix Wright sweeps the leg.
Sweep the leg, Phoenix Wright. That sounds like a Charlie Brown thing. Like sweep the leg, Phoenix Wright.
No, anyway. Speaking of Charlie Brown, he's an adult. I'm doing a clanger, aren't I?
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing a clanger, which is very different. Actually, you're not even doing a clanger, because clangers are whistly.
Ah, that's right, I can't listen.
Anyway, Bagpuss is on the stand.
He was listening to the wireless. And then oh, Jesus Christ, what is that doing to my throat when I try that?
I don't know.
Anyway, he picked up his coffin.
You appear to be dying over there. May I recommend some very nice coffee? Also, what's next? Because I don't know.
What's next? Well, he picked up the cup with his free hand and he took a sip. I'm just gonna speak normally whenever he appears now.
Okay.
And he's just gonna be like this now.
My voice is running out as well.
Okay, Mr. Godot, do you remember what you were told at the start of the testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory.
Do you want to take back over, or do you want to keep going? I know! There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing! If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
What's the pigeon song?
I'd like to hear
It's like the birdie song, but involves more pigeons. Care to tell us where this is going, Trite?
Where is it going?
I don't know, but I'm still really happy that somebody followed. According to
Mr. Godot, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left.
Ha! What is this, kindergarten?
Well, speaking of telling left from right, I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you will clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand.
But how?
Well, Mr. Godot, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song!
Okay, here we go. Also,
you gotta sing the Stan Was Wrong song.
Give me a beat, Zeus. With a little bit of this and a little bit of that and...
That's the chicken song. That's the chicken dance.
Damn it, random genius, you're messing me up.
Mr. Godot, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable.
You bet it's not.
I think the witness had better go...
Wait just a second. I was given the opportunity to sing, I'm gonna. If you think I'm gonna stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw.
You still insist on your testimony.
That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-head yahoo, who are at fault.
I'm a city boy. Thank you, old man. You are old even to me. We have heard quite enough from you already.
Thank God for that. Don't call me an old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say.
I'm sorry, Mr. Godot, but... Godot
Sure,
threatens us.
why not hear a little more?
Godot threatens us. Mr. Godot!
But this is my 16th cup of coffee, which means thankfully we're coming to an end of this part of the trial. So this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. I mean Stan.
I don't know how I did a long stretch of dialogue as this character the 2 weeks ago. Something has happened with my throat. So the boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side of the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye.
And that he was Markiplier.
You keep calling him Markiplier, I'm scared.
I'm going to insist on it, I'm afraid.
I'll draw a Markiplier for you later.
I don't need to draw a Markiplier, there's a whole channel of him. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor, often used by programmers. There he was logged into his Spotify account, and he was watching the hit podcast Distractible.
Oh shit, you mean it was his Google Lens?
Absolutely.
You mean like a television screen? Yes, actually.
Inside the lens is a screen that displays a computer data.
As Ezio points out, it was a scouter. He was a Saiyan.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a Saiyajin.
Actually, it's not. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. But in actuality...
HD TV, DVD, CD. All these newfangled letters don't drive me mad. You can tell when this translation was made because we don't mention Blu-ray. But they don't matter.
Well, Blu-ray's... Blu-ray's a brand and not an acronym in this instance.
That's true. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying.
Also, I think you find it... Actually, it wasn't any of these things. It was It was the Tiger R-Zone. Was what he was wearing. It's the Tiger R-Zone. Don't get
So
confused.
anyway, those are the facts in good black and white.
The
I've given up.
Tiger R-Zone. Here comes Wolf! The Tiger R-Zone.
Virtua Fighter lives in the R-Zone.
Ezio's upset now that he doesn't have a fancy monocle for work.
So,
Get those working on those budgets, my dude.
might have been, but we know he's handled him busy. I'm not... Actually, I don't know why the programmers set this up to be the answer, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question. You can... I'll do the voice. You no question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
I don't think so.
Well, what did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured.
Eh?
Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal.
Were they?
I assume that's how they knew that he actually applied the medication.
I don't think that was expressly confirmed.
It was impossible that the victim was wearing the earpiece in his left ear.
I mean,
Because he couldn't hear in that ear.
I mean, it might only work on the left side, in which case he might have just been wearing it, not listening to stuff. But hey, is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon. Pretty pigeon.
What is he? I need to get out the art book because I have no idea where his pants are. Order. This witness's testimony is completely unreliable.
And so is his voice actor.
He only saw the waitress from it. I'm sorry. It actually really hurts. I don't know why.
He only saw the wait. He only saw the.
He only saw.
Welcome
the
to Double Cross's Let's Play. Well,
I'm so sorry.
He only saw the waitress from behind.
I can do this spin.
You sure?
It's fair. It's...
Okay.
And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum on that side was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot?
Ah. I'll just merge all the voices now. A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. And he's also my cup of tea. What are you doing later?
No, don't.
Captain, are you calling me a drip?
No, don't worry. He's saying you got drip. You got drip. You're absolutely dripped out, my dude.
I have riz up the wazoo.
Maybe not that. This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back
I
down.
blame the gnomes. We'll eat those first. I'll never back down. I know I'm right. I'll Javachino you! The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip of the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw.
Yo, my dude, stop. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions the victim died immediately after taking one sip of coffee.
Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. Also, this is Cup 17, by my own count earlier, so we're closing in on the end, folks. The fact still stands. With one hand on the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this!
Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless.
Pwah!
I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pump yourself, fogey!
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from down.
With just a bit of effort, I might, though.
I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further.
Thank God.
That is all for now. The court is adjourned.
Oh, for God's sake. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me?
Leave you, Mr. Kudo?
Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now.
How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do.
I kept my mouth shut until now. But there's something else the court should know. No, it's alright, I just... What? What?
What? There's more?
To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want to have a chance. I want to have a crack at you, you young shark.
Me?
I'm gonna punch you right in your stupid face.
He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun.
Well, everyone, what do you say for one the final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
I need to get him a cold.
Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. You see, the game was counting. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javachini you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man.
Are you
yes!
hitting on him now?
Yes! All of that last sentence was a euphemism for many things.
That's enough, witness. That's really enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your
Oh,
testimony.
Jesus Christ. You bet. Much quicker. Really quick, I hope. We all want to go home.
I can't believe this is happening.
Ha ha ha. You better get ready, youngster.
I get the picture. Just quit throwing the seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seed.
You mean something like an Ultimate Showdown, possibly of Ultimate Destiny? Yes, good guys, bad guys, and seeds. First of all, I want to stress this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself, but I've been stretching this frickin' thing out as long as possible.
Let's just read it in a completely normal voice.
No. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. It must have been the worst Javachino he ever got. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, hmm?
You really caused a turnabout there, my dude. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Huh? You're doubting me again? You're doubting your poor defenseless old man.
No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Godot. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine the guy.
You're a bird brain. That's what I. That's. Blah, blah, blah. You're a bird brain. That's why that's all you can think of.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please. Final cross-examination, please.
It's the final showdown.
Na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na.
Wait, don't. I know they charge a lot of money for that song.
Well,
What is it? Just please contradict me on something.
okay, so we require... Vase. His only evidence is the vase was knocked over. The vase is fine. I'm saying vase a lot, it's a vase. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
Huh? So what?
I'm so sorry. Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, Granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch.
Ow! 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 Oh. Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night.
Ah,
What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes? Go on.
The broken vase. It was on my table.
What?
Well, you see, it startled me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when they fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. Also the vase.
The vase on your table?
Yeah, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. And that's the excuse I'm going with.
It is an absolute Grunkle Stan line.
You're absolutely right. You messed with my table, kid.
Godot just leaning up and going like, my dick is dry.
Why did you say that in a very sort of like Keanu Reeves way?
Keanu Reeves gonna be
Say it
interesting.
again, for the purpose,
No.
just in that way.
I can't. I can't. Thank you, Mr. Kudo.
Yeah.
You've certainly earned your kudos for today.
I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all?
Perhaps there's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Ah! Wait a minute! If that's the case, there's more! I've got more to say! Oh yes! I remember something else!
Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
Wait! Listen to me!
He tried.
Please tell
And
me he's
he-
gone.
Well,
Please tell me he's gone.
we seem to have been considerably
I
sidetracked.
know, what with the audio going screwy?
And I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we heard just thus far. The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate these facts. Yes, Your Honor.
Huh.
There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor. The witness we just heard from, he is most insistent that his testimony should be of use. So he summarized it accordingly into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish.
Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that.
Godot's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's. Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony. This is a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? Calligraphy? That is all. This court is adjourned.
Thank God.
To be continued.
Excellent. I'll see you in 2 weeks.